My sister is a single mom to a young daughter. In April of this year, I found out my sister and husband had been sleeping together for at least 3 months. I ended my marriage to him and am in the process of getting a divorce. I also stopped helping out my sister, which I had done since she had her daughter. I told her I never wanted to see her again and not to ask me for help. Our parents are both disabled and living together in a nursing home. They were upset when they heard what happened, but told me they wouldn't cut out one daughter for the other. I told them I understood and would never ask them to, but they needed to understand I would not be there for my sister anymore, and I don't care how bad her life gets, or whether she needs some life-saving blood or kidney from me one day. They told me they understood. But now that Christmas is approaching, a big deal is being made out of the fact that I'm not welcoming her and her daughter for Christmas like I normally do. I have already moved to my new house. I always bought my niece gifts and gave them someplace to go for Christmas, and now I'm not opening my new home to them. My parents told me how it would be for my niece, not my sister. I told them being there for my niece meant having contact with my sister and that I didn't want to see her again. My sister begged and pleaded with me to let them come. She's apologized multiple times for what she did, but I don't care. I've never cared. She was getting so much help and money from me, and then she went behind my back. She disrespected me. She made a fool out of me. She allowed my ex to disrespect me. This is not me saying she's only to blame, but my ex will soon be completely cut from my life, and I want the same to be true for my sister. My sister sent me messages saying her daughter misses me, etc., how she'll be heartbroken if it's just them for Christmas with almost no gifts. I told her that was her problem to fix, not mine. My sister and parents are saying I'm being cold-hearted to the wrong person. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Let me get this straight. Your sister had an affair with your husband, which you only just found out about several months ago, and she expects to be allowed in your house, and your family is trying to manipulate you and guilt you into letting her be there? No one's Christmas spirit is jolly enough to cancel out sleeping with your spouse behind your back. Come on. You don't just have a sister and a husband problem, you have a family problem. For anyone who isn't going to respect and understand your decision, I'd suggest going low or no contact. The last thing you need to deal with right now is their toxic, but family nonsense. If your parents are going to side with your sister, I'd suggest going with no contact, at least for a while. This is absolutely unacceptable on so many levels, and I'm so very sorry for what you're going through right now. Yes, in such a case, the option of not choosing a side is to choose a side. The parents choose the sister's side, asking OP to forgive and do everything. Holidays, family gatherings, etc. like before. By doing this, they're saying that what the sister did isn't that bad, and it's OP's responsibility to get over it. I would have difficulty forgiving this betrayal, even if I understood how hard it must be for the parents to deal with. Your sister needs to understand that she ruined this for her daughter, not you. She chose to betray you knowing full well that she depends on your favors and money. She made her bed, she lies in it. She's using her daughter to try and restart the relationship, being manipulative. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life. She betrayed you to the degree that apologizing won't fix. And yeah, tell your parents to stop with the neutral facade. They already chose her over you, it's apparent. Is anyone else here worried that OP is footing the bill for several different aspects of her family members' lives? Mom and dad are in a nursing home, which is not cheap. Sister relies on her a lot, to the point where she accuses her of not giving her own child Christmas. The financial and emotional labor of both situations is a lot already. OP has been through enough already without worrying about being the meal ticket for people who think it's okay for her to endure a brutal situation for their comfort. I vote going no contact with the family, then getting a new phone number. I'm a 54-year-old male with a daughter who's 28. She's on home on break from grad school getting her PhD. She's only home for 2 weeks because she says she doesn't have any more time even though she has a month's break. That's been a big thing with her lately. She's constantly too busy to do things with us or help us out, even though she does have the time. I got my younger daughter a sweater and it turns out she already has it. On Friday I called my older daughter from work and told her she needed to run and exchange it for a different one. She said okay, she'd do it the next day. I said it needed to be done that day to get the best options, and she said she was grading so she couldn't. I told her that she can continue her grading, run out and exchange it. She said she wasn't going to slow down her work and said I should do it when I returned from work that day. So I said I was busy too and didn't feel like running out after a long day of work, and she said neither did she. But she doesn't have a long day of work. She's sitting on her butt at her computer all day and doesn't even have scheduled hours to work. She can do it whenever she wants. Today, things really kicked off because I needed her to pick up an online order for a gift for my mom, her grandma. She again used the excuse of grading. She hasn't even started working yet. It was in the morning, and she was drinking coffee and having breakfast. She said that she needed to have her grades done by today, but I looked it up on the website and she has until Monday evening. So I called her on her BS and she said she had other work due on Monday, so she needed to get the grading done today, but wouldn't enlighten me on what this mysterious other work is. I said, well, tough. This needs to be picked up today so I can wrap it, and I was going into the office so I couldn't do it. She said that if I didn't want to do it myself, then it would be done on her time. I told her with that attitude she could stay somewhere else, and she said happily and packed her things, claiming she didn't want to stay here anyway, but was only doing it because I insisted. She left her gifts and said not to expect her for the holidays and she'll go to her girlfriend's family instead. I think it's ridiculous that she's throwing a fit just because she can't constantly live like she's the only person on the planet. But my wife and other daughter are now furious with me, so I figured I'd ask. Am I the idiot, or am I correct that my daughter is self-centered and childish? Excuse me, am I correct that my daughter is self-centered and childish? Nope, that's a mirror you're looking at. You are the idiot, OP. Seriously, this grown man is throwing a temper tantrum because his adult daughter isn't willing to take orders and run his errands. I have a feeling he made her take responsibility for his errands a lot growing up, and she's come back home to see her family armed with boundaries because she knows what he's like. He doesn't like not being able to order her around anymore. I hope she has an awesome Christmas with her girlfriend. She's 28, and he wonders why she won't take responsibility for his gift-giving at the expense of her own work. He did say she's sitting on her butt on a computer all day, so it's clear he has zero respect for her work. OP doesn't view what she does as real work. OP, you're only 54 and are expecting your daughter to run errands for you like she's a paid shopping assistant. You played the "I'm your parent and you must obey me" card and you lost. I'm pushing 80 and I never ask my young relatives to do something for me that I can do myself or hire someone to do. My mother had your philosophy. Children are supposed to do for their parents, and she died alone in a nursing home because nobody could stand to be around her. Read and learn. I, female 29, have a brother, Hugo, male 31. When Hugo was 19, he got his then girlfriend Amy pregnant. They had their daughter, Ashley, a tween, and later got married and had a baby boy, preschooler. Over the years, I've become close to Ashley. When I'm home, I live abroad, I take her out to shows, shopping, horse riding, etc. We also keep in contact via text. She's bright and thoughtful, just a pleasure to have around. Amy is never like me, but has put this aside for Ashley. My boyfriend and I are visiting my family for Christmas and then leaving to go skiing. We arranged for Ashley to come skiing and stay with us for New Year's. Amy wasn't keen on this idea, but relented because Ashley was excited to learn how to ski, as all her school friends do. I took my boyfriend's rental car to pick Ashley up from school on Friday, and she was excited because it's a sports car, and I let her friends sit in it and take pictures. At dinner, she asked if I would drive her to and chaperone her and her friends going ice skating on Tuesday in town. Hugo said I probably didn't want to look after a bunch of kids, and Amy had already planned to chaperone. Ashley ignored him and begged me to chaperone. I didn't really mind, but Amy looked annoyed, so I said I wouldn't want to mess with the established plan. Ashley kept pushing and said she didn't want Amy to come because Amy dressed badly and was never fun and embarrassed her. Hugo told her to apologize, which she did, but she also kept insisting it was true. Amy got teary, and Hugo kept telling Ashley she'd upset her mother, but this made Ashley angrier, and she dug her heels in. Because of this, she was told she was not allowed to go ice skating and is now not speaking to Amy. Yesterday, Amy and Hugo came to me and said they didn't want Ashley to come skiing anymore. Amy feels like Ashley needs to spend more time with her family, and Hugo supports her. They asked if I would tell Ashley that my boyfriend and I had changed our plans and wouldn't be going on the trip. I asked why, and they said if they told Ashley the truth, she would blame Amy and defeat the point of her trying to build a bridge with Ashley. I said I understood that, but I didn't feel right lying to Ashley, and if her parents had made the decision, they needed to deal with the consequences, not push it on to me. Amy said if I cared about Ashley, I would realize it's best for me to fall on my sword rather than alienate her further from her mother. I said no again, but Hugo said we should all take until Wednesday to think about it. Ashley is still being very standoffish with her mother. and I know if she finds out her mother cancelled the ski trip, it will get worse. So now I'm wondering if I should go along with Amy's plans. I just want what's best for Ashley. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Ashley sounds like a little tick, to be honest. Amy and Hugo are not wrong to cancel the trick if only to teach her a lesson about how to function in a family. But dishonesty is no way to coerce a child into a mother love. Hugo and Amy need to own up to their own decisions. They should tell her, "You're not going because you're a total idiot to your mother," and not put you in the position of pointlessly alienating her. And not only will Ashley prefer knowing the truth, but she will also feel she can trust you because you're refusing to lie to her. Amy trying to guilt you into lying by pulling the "if you care about Ashley" rhetoric is such an idiot move. Ashley is a typical preteen, embarrassed by her parents. Most kids at some point get embarrassed by their parents. The family needs therapy, not lies. I, 32 female, am expecting my first child with my husband Paul, 36. We've been married for 2 years. This is the only issue we're having right now. I'm currently 10 weeks pregnant, and my biggest pregnancy issue is fatigue, cravings, and hunger. No matter what I do, I cannot seem to stay full. I eat all day but have managed to lose 3 pounds still. The problem is we don't always have what I want. So, a few times a week I stop at the store on my way home from work and stock up on my favourite snacks. Pizza, pickles, fruit, especially oranges, grapes and watermelon, popcorn, chicken noodle soup, string cheese, etc. I've been doing this for maybe about 5 weeks, but every time I check the fridge, almost all my snacks are gone. I keep telling Paul to stop eating my food, and he says that it's not a big deal and I can just get more. But then that involves me, not him, stopping at the store more and me, again not him, spending more of my money. Last week I just snapped. I bought my favourite ice cream, Neapolitan. I put it in the freezer and decided to nap before writing a paper. I'm currently getting my master's. I planned to have a bowl when I woke up and began working on it. When I woke up, I went to the freezer and saw it had been opened. Now, I can't eat an entire quart of ice cream by myself, so I wasn't mad that he had some until I saw what he did to it. My husband ate all of the strawberry side and left me with just the vanilla and chocolate, and the strawberry is my favourite part. I got mad and started yelling at him. He told me it was unreasonable of me to bring food into the house and not expect him to have any of it. But I told him that wasn't what I expected. But he knew that was my favourite ice cream, and my favourite part of it was all gone, and he was always eating my snacks. He just told me to run to the store and get some more. So I just went back upstairs because he wasn't listening. I opened my laptop and ordered a full-size fridge, $2,300, paid for from my personal savings account that he has never contributed to. My husband and I don't mingle our accounts, so he never saw I bought it until 2 days ago when it was delivered to our house. He came home from work and saw it in our garage plugged in. He asked why there were locks on it and how much it cost. I told him not to worry about how much it costs, and that there were locks on it to make sure he didn't eat all my snacks for my cravings. He said I couldn't control what he eats, and I told him I'm not. I'm just controlling who eats my snacks, but the fridge in the house is open, and he can have whatever is in that and the cabinets, but the fridge in the garage is for me only. I haven't had to go to the store at all this weekend, and all my food is locked up, but Paul isn't speaking to me for 2 reasons. For making a large purchase without talking to him first, and for turning food into a war. His words. So, am I the idiot? Not the idiot for getting a refrigerator. You have every right to be annoyed and frustrated that he has no respect for you concerning food. What bothers me is that he tells you to go out and buy more after eating your food. That is some nerve. Why doesn't he go out himself and replace the food he took? He sounds extraordinarily selfish. Unless he's willing to have some couples counselling, I'm afraid he'll keep behaving this way even after the baby arrives. After so many times doing it, he's doing it on purpose. He's probably worried she'll get fat or some crap like that. OP, the fridge is just a band-aid solution to a larger issue. He is not respecting you. You should not need to lock your partner out of the fridge. He should just be respecting you. The fridge doesn't solve the issue. Yeah, it doesn't even really matter that she's pregnant. She bought the food and he's eating it and not paying for it or replacing it. I have a hard time believing this is the only selfish, inconsiderate thing this guy does in this relationship. Shame you have a child with this person already though. It will make the inevitable divorce messier. During a party my parents hosted, my toddler kept asking where his dad was. He was getting increasingly irritable, so I took him to find my ex. Once we found him, I left our son with him, even though my ex told me he was in the middle of an important conversation and couldn't watch him. I told him I didn't care, so he promised he would come and get him in 10 minutes once he was done, but I still left our son with him and my brother, who was there too. They found me about 30 minutes later, and both my brother and ex made a big deal about how I left our son with them when I knew they were busy. My son had clearly been crying, and they both got defensive when I asked them what they'd done to him. It turns out my son started crying because my ex wasn't paying attention to him, which meant they had to end their conversation so he could comfort him. So my ex is claiming it's my fault for leaving our son there when I knew he was busy, and he accused me of being intentionally difficult. Am I the idiot? Everyone's the idiot. You suck because you left your child with someone who didn't want to take care of them, even temporarily. Your ex sucks because I can't imagine how important a conversation can be at a family party that someone can't spend time with their child. The only person who doesn't suck is your kid, who is desperate for attention from adults who either ignore him or pawn him off on others. I wish him the best. Without knowing the context of the conversation and the OP's brother also being upset that they had stopped the conversation, it tells us a lot that it was a really important conversation. They wanted 30 minutes to themselves at a family party. OP couldn't find anyone else to entertain her son and look after him herself for a few minutes, so the men were instantly labelled as deadbeats? OP, you can say to your son, Dad is busy right now, we'll get him in a few minutes. Even at 2, patience needs to be taught. Funny, it tells me they're both deadbeats who think their time is more important than the mother's, because if it actually was important, then they are exceptionally irresponsible people. You should never discuss actually important matters in the middle of a social gathering and the hearing range of everyone. Feeling self-important isn't the same as talking about important things.